The many Afghan refugees living in Pakistan face an uncertain future. Combined with reports of mass arrests and police harassment, it's a difficult situation for people who've already had their lives turned upside down by war.
VOA's Ayesha Tanzeem is our correspondent in Islamabad. She tells me there's a reason the harassment has gotten worse. Ayesha, what's behind this apparent police crackdown on Afghan refugees?
I think that after a horrible attack on a school in Peshawar in which almost 150 people, more than 130 children died, the security agencies in the country are in a state of not just panic, but they want to do something. And there was a push to find out who's living where, who's documented, who's undocumented. And unfortunately, out of the almost 3 million Afghan refugees that are in Pakistan, UNHCR says almost half of them are undocumented.
Now, you are living in Islamabad now. Have you witnessed a heavier police presence?
Islamabad in general, even before this, had a very heavy police presence. Wherever you go, you have to go through checkpoints. Your car, there are barricades for the cars where your car has to slow down and drive around it. That is to avoid anybody driving fast with explosives. If you're going through the checkpoints at night, you have to turn off your lights, and the police flashes lights inside to make sure they know who's inside, and if they feel like stopping you, they stop you and check documents. So that was all happening even before the Peshawar attack, but we see more rigor after the attack. There's more of a, we need to get something done after the attack.
Trader Zafar Khan has witnessed this harassment firsthand and describes how police stopped cars at a checkpoint and ordered both men and women out.
They had Afghan refugee cards. They were taken off their cars and harassed, and 500 or 1,000 rupees were taken from them.
Now, you talk about creating an environment where people want to return. These Afghans that you spoke to, do they even want to go back?
Poor Afghans, many living in slums, say despite the harassment and the problems, they have no choice but to stay here. There are no jobs and no security in Afghanistan.
Some of them said, well, if they had an economic opportunity and there was security, they might go back. But as we know, Afghanistan right now does not have security. We don't know whether that situation will improve in the near future. But also, Afghanistan's economy is in a very difficult position right now. So there are no jobs and no employment for these people if they go back. There were some other people who said, well, they've literally grown up in Pakistan. There's one man who said he came here when he was 4 years old, and this is the country that he knows as home. So he doesn't know why he will go back.
When you approached people to talk for this story, were any of them afraid to talk to you out of fear that they might be retaliated against by these police?
Yes, they were. In fact, several people did not want to appear on camera, especially people who were active in the community and who said that they routinely interact with police, people like community leaders, people like shopkeepers who were almost like the head of their local union. They said that they routinely go to the police and talk about these issues, and if the police sees them on camera, it might make life very difficult for them. So yes, you're right. Some people, not all of them, because we found some who were willing to talk to us, but some people were afraid to come on camera.
And what's it going to take, Ayesha, for this to get better, for this treatment, seeming mistreatment, possibly to ease?
Money. What UNHCR is asking the international community to do is to offer resources, because that's what's it going to take, not only to repatriate these Afghans, but to provide them employment and the kind of environment where they would want to stay there. It is not easy to up and move millions of people. It's going to take help from the international community, and if that help is not forthcoming, I don't know if the Afghan economy can sustain it, or Pakistan, Afghanistan have the kind of resources that they may need to get the job done.
And that is something we know Ayesha will continue to follow, thanks to VOA Islamabad Bureau Chief Ayesha Tanzeem.